Hi, you guys. In this video, on this podcast episode, we are unpacking the answers to the question, what type of content can you license? And so if you are a subject matter expert, a coach, or a consultant, and you have content that you're sitting on, it's collecting dust, and you're wondering what is actually licensable, what do companies want, then this is the show. This is the video to be tuning into. If you're watching us on YouTube, please click subscribe and share this. And if you're watching it, listening to us here on Apple or Spotify or all the other podcast distribution channels, thank you so much. This is episode number 324. All the resources, all of the free licensing tools, all of our business tools can be found by visiting sweetlifeco.com. So, let's dive in and answer the question. What can you actually license? What type of content can you license? So if you're new to the world of licensing, go back and listen to our video on what is content licensing so you can get all the nitty gritty. So this is assuming you know what content licensing is and you're thinking about, I have these courses or I have these trainings or I have this material, what can I actually release? It's a common question I get. And we're doing an entire series here on the show about all the frequently asked questions that I receive about content licensing. So there are three types of content that companies will line up to license from you. And if you're new to this, I want to share with you that this is a common business practice. Companies understand that it takes a lot of time to create content, and it's faster to buy yours or license yours than it is to create more content from scratch. There, especially larger companies, larger organizations, it is a very common practice for them to be looking for amazing content to bring in. And so the first type of content I want you to be aware of, we're going to go through 1, 2, 3. 1 is the lowest amount of money you're going to make. 2 is the middle amount of money you're going to make. 3 is the highest dollar amount you can claim for this licensing deal. So be really upfront about that. So as I'm unpacking this, I'm just going to tell you 1, imagine $sign number 1, level 2, imagine $sign level 2. 3, imagine $3 signs, right? So that's what I want you to be aware of. So the first one is content that fills distribution channels. What is a distribution channel? A distribution channel is something that's usually public. So it's like this podcast is a distribution channel, a YouTube channel is a distribution channel, Instagram, newsletters. It could be, email marketing is still a distribution channel. It is any place where a company distributes content, usually publicly. It can also be internal content for larger corporations and organizations as well. But level 1 is if you have articles, videos, step-by-step processes. These are shorter, compact pieces of content, trainings, processes, systems, or methods that you have created that you're sitting on, you're not really using anymore. Maybe you are using it. You can actually license that to other companies to share within their distribution channels. Let me give you a story about this, like a little case study about this, so that you can be spinning your own wheels. I like with each one of these episodes to share with you a story about licensing so you can imagine how this could work for you. So we have a ton of online courses. We did in our companies. At one point in time, I had 56 online courses. I don't sell these anymore. I don't use them anymore, but some of the content and the little videos from those courses are really informative. They're kind of business coaching 101 things that I did like over a decade ago. It's like, what is a lead magnet? How to build a funnel? Some really basic business type things. That content, I'm not selling it anymore. I'm just sitting on it. That content I can actually license to other companies to distribute publicly through their distribution channels. It's written, it's done, the video is done, everything's there. They can just add it to their marketing manager and start distributing it and grow their following and increase the value they're providing. It doesn't fit into our marketing plan anymore because our clients are past that. We've already helped them pass those, basic business launch type of activities. But I'm sitting on content that can fill other companies' distribution channels. So if you have content that can fill distribution channels, that is way number 1. I wouldn't make $1 million doing that. I can make a couple thousand. Sure. Hey, listen, I'm not one to turn down a couple $1,000s. And so think about that. What content do you have that can fill other distribution channels, either public distribution channels or internal distribution channels, that can help another company just deliver better content to their listeners or their followers or their users? That's level number one. Level number two is content that augments current programs. So this is when you have a smaller training. It still can be like one standalone course, but it is one piece of a training that can be added to other trainings and programs to make it better or help people get better results. It can complement another complete program. So if you have a training, a video, it can be a small workshop, then that is something that augments other programs. And you are going to make money by licensing that to other businesses, whether they're businesses that are your competition or not. Last video I did, last podcast episode 323, is all about how to choose what competition you're going to license to. If you missed that, go back, listen to that video. We unpacked that whole thing. But this level number two is when we take your training and program and we allow for other businesses to actually include it in what they're already selling or doing. I have a lot of clients that are doing this. I have multiple clients with one training piece or one training program, and the entire strategy is to license it into other programs. How amazing is that for them when they can take what they've created, they don't have to sell it anymore, and they just license it to another consultant or another coach to augment their programs, and they make a lot of money by doing that. You might be familiar with this if you've given away like a free workshop or a free training and added it as like a bonus in the past to other programs. Technically speaking, without you knowing it, you're licensing it, by the way, without the licensing agreement. It doesn't mean you always, like those type of situations, they're more of a marketing and a lead gen opportunity for you. So we value actually doing those things for free because in return, you're going to grow brand awareness, you're going to grow your list. So it's the same activity, but a different strategy. Here we're talking about a strict licensing strategy where you actually license your program to other companies to add to their full program. And you make money doing that. Certainly you should make money doing that. And then way number three is what I call complete. So we talked about number one, content that feeds distribution channels. Number two, content that augments other programs. Number three are completes. And also our clients sit in either the augmenting channels or the completes level. Complete is where we take an entire course, an entire start to finish process that really can stand alone, and we license that to other companies to use. That is the most profitable. That is what's really going to drive the wheelbarrows full of money to your bank. And that is where it doesn't even have to be built out. Again, I did multiple other videos on, don't waste time building things out first with licensing. Please don't do that. But that is where we can even take one workshop that maybe you've taught live before, but it's an entire workshop. Maybe it's an entire weekend virtual event that you teach live. We can turn it into a licensing offer and allow for other companies to distribute it. I know where your mind's going because I do this. Your mind is probably going, well, do I do like licensing with live stuff still? I will do another episode for you on that and teaching you how to do hybrid offers with licensing and live consulting. Just got a question about that from somebody on LinkedIn. So I will make sure that we address that in an upcoming show. Again, another reason to subscribe. And I want you just to be thinking about this, going back to level number three. Back from that squirrel moment, if you have a complete program that can stand by itself and be distributed by another company, then that is the number one profit maker for licensing. It doesn't even have to be huge. That standalone program can still be a three video or a 3 module training. It can be a 1-day workshop process. Hear me out. Where you allow for other professionals to teach your workshop. You don't even have to be there. It's not always a course. It's curriculum. It's your process. It's your way. We license your genius, your method, your framework. That's why if you're new to our company with new coaches, the very first thing we help entrepreneurs do is build out methods and frameworks. So if you don't have that built yet, by the way, we have the pathway to show you how to do that. But I'm talking to those of you guys, we already have that. And you have your method and your framework, whether it is a live workshop or it's a course or it's a training or it's a process or, it's a system, and you allow for another company to actually license all of that. Now, where do they use it? Again, another video that I will do for you, but just to answer that question right now, I'm not going to leave you hanging here. They will either utilize that training as internal training for their teams, for their staff. They'll either utilize your content to put into their internal operations or skills building, and or they can use it client facing as part of something they sell or something they sell standalone. So your content doesn't always have to be totally client facing. It doesn't have to be public. As a matter of fact, I don't know if I guess maybe 60-40, I would say is our clients' trainings are internal for staffs and team, maybe 50-50, and then external publicly facing. So that just doesn't matter. So don't get hung up on those details. Right now, I just want you to be focusing on choosing the content itself. So when we're asking we're asking the question, what can you license? The answer to that question is content that feeds distribution channels, content that augments other programs, or completes. And you probably have a variety of content that fits in each one of those levels. Like most of our listeners, you guys are solutions creators. You're very good at what you do, and you're constantly trying to fix and solve problems. And I want to help you scale your business and make a lot of money off the problems that you've already fixed, that maybe you aren't even selling the solutions to those problems anymore. So if that's what you want, you're in the right place. We are your go-to strategist for licensing your courses, trainings, and content. My name is April Beach, and I'm so glad that you're here. I'm the founder at the Sweet Life Company, and you can find all of our resources by visiting sweetlifeco.com. And you can even tap into a free licensing 101 video by visiting licensing-tools.com as well. Again, please subscribe, and I will see you next week with more strategy that you can take to the bank to scale your expert coaching or consulting business through content licensing. I'll see you then.